The judge pronounced a death sentence against the man, until a dog walked into the courtroom with evidence, and everything changed. He knew no one would believe him. Not the prosecutor, not the jurors, not even the one who had shared his cell in the past few weeks. He knew, and yet he hoped. Hope for what? A miracle? Truth? No. He hoped for only one thing: that Rustam would understand. Alexei Morozov, stand up. The courtroom froze. The dull hum of air conditioners, the old reporter on the gallery coughing, the scratching of a pen in the record, all that was louder than the judge's words. Alexei rose slowly, as if he knew this was the last time he would ever be asked to stand up, not to be led away, but forever. The court had declared, "You are found guilty of rape and murder of Sophia Rendell." Sentence: death. No cry, no gasp. Somewhere someone clicked a pen. Everything was decided in advance. He didn't tremble, only his eyes drifted around the hall. Somewhere, beyond a concrete wall in the corridor, his old German shepherd named Rustam waited, locked in a carrier, always composed, as though he understood at first glance. Sophia. He loved her. She was probably the only woman who could make him silent and calm his anger. They met after he left the police force, and within a couple of months she had entered his life as though she had always lived there. Then she was found dead, her apartment drenched in blood, the door reinforced, signs of a struggle, prints on a bottle's neck that matched his boots, DNA on her body. Everything matched. He said, "They framed me. They didn't care." "Do you have a final statement?" the judge asked. Alexei paused. He scanned the prosecutor, the jury, the empty bench where Sophia's mother used to sit. "Yes," he said finally. "When all this is over, I want to be allowed to see my dog, Rustam." The judge frowned. "Is that your last wish?" "Yes." The judge nodded, not understanding why a condemned man would request to see a dog. The record noted, his final wish: a meeting with his dog Rustam. Alexei was taken from the courtroom. He walked calmly, as he used to walk into interrogations, or on raids. Back then he wore a holster, a radio, an ID. Now only handcuffs and a prison jumpsuit with numbers. Behind the glass he saw her mother. She stared at the sky, worn, without tears, but with hatred. He did not lower his eyes, because he had already stopped understanding why he still looked at the world. In solitary, he lay directly on the concrete floor. No pain, just silence and cold. Sometimes the prison doctor brought pills. The chaplain offered confession. Alexei remained silent. There was no one to speak to. 3 days passed. On the 4th, a guard entered with a sullen face. "Your dog is here." Alexei sat up. "Where?" "Outside, in the yard." "Brought him." "You have 20 minutes." He rose without words or resistance. They led him to the fenced area where guard dogs are walked. Behind the fence sat Rustam. The dog did not move until Alexei drew near. Then he rose, as though nothing had changed, and placed his muzzle on his master's knees. Alexei crouched, hands on the warm skull, that same fur he stroked evenings before the TV, when he was still a man with a future. "Forgive me," he whispered. "I didn't protect her. I couldn't." Rustam let out a quiet bark, a sound the dog usually made when anxious. Alexei said, "They were wrong, Rustam. I didn't kill her." The dog lifted his head, ears pricked, eyes strained. Then Rustam sprang to the fence and froze, his gaze fixed beyond. A shape, a man, an animal, he didn't know. The dog growled. "Hey," Alexei called, but the guard was already coming. "Time's up. Let's go, Morozov." Rustam remained. He stood by the fence, staring into the forest. Then he darted off into shadow, slipping under the fence as though he knew he must run. The guard cursed. The dog had escaped. Alexei smiled, let him go. That night a short news brief aired. Former detective Alexei Morozov, convicted of murder, to be executed within 1 month. The television was turned off. Alexei sank into his silence. But somewhere beyond walls, deep in the forest, a dog ran, a dog who didn't care about politics or headlines. He only knew one thing: his master is innocent, and he would prove it. Prison routine tolerated no change. Days blurred into identical, viscous drudgery. Only one disruption: Rustam had vanished. Guards laughed, saying he would die in the forest or be shot by a hunter. Alexei did not object. He remained silent, but in his heart stirred something no one could take, a sense that somewhere, outside, another game had begun. 3 days later, on the 4th day, a man from Internal Investigations, Colonel Green, came knocking at the warden's door. He was the sort who never shook hands to avoid leaving prints, as they said. "There's a strange incident here," Green said. "That dog. Any video from the cameras showing his departure?" "Yes. Bring me the footage." Within 30 minutes they sat before monitors. Black and white footage. Alexei sits with Rustam. Then the dog bolts and disappears. A moment later, in the far corner, a figure flickers. A man. A shadow. Green rewound. "See, that's neither inmate nor our staff." The warden frowned. "If Morozov is innocent, we could have a major crisis." "I know. The evidence against you was ironclad. But now out in the forest," Rustam moved by instincts. He tracked scent, old marks he remembered. He came across their campsite, the place the three of them visited months ago. Scorched stone, trampled earth, part of a tent, smell of blood and gunpowder. The dog unearthed a hard plastic case, picked it up and carried it away, running through forest and swamp until he reached a country road. A man named Jack Pearson, driving a rusted pickup home, braked hard when the dog leapt in front. Jack got out with a shotgun, but the dog did not attack. He placed the plastic case before Jack's feet. The case bore a camera logo, a memory card inside. Jack pocketed it, loaded the dog in the truck, and later inserted the card into his laptop. A folder night 12:08 appeared. The first file, a trembling, dark image. Someone still recording, then voices. "Faster. Idiot. You left your gloves." Then, "She's unconscious." The camera pans. Shadows. Faces. Biker vests. A tattoo of a skull with rabbits. Jack recognized that tattoo. Next morning he approached detectives, presented the card. Meanwhile, in his cell, Alexei heard the click of the lock-off schedule. He was led to interrogation where Green sat, laptop open. "We have new video," Green said. Alexei froze as the footage played. He recognized the man with the skull and rabbit tattoo. Blake Harris. Someone he once tried to bring down. Alexei looked to Green. "This video gives me a chance." Green nodded. "If DNA checks, the court will accept it. You may walk free." Alexei exhaled, no joy. The fight was just beginning. They checked bikers, their old hideout, north on the county line, abandoned 2 weeks ago. "If video matches, it will be explosive." "They killed her because of me," Alexei said. Green nodded. "You had motive, but now we have new evidence." Back at the city shelter, Rustam whimpered. Staff didn't understand. The dog acted like he knew something. They didn't see the truth. Forensic labs compared Sophia's clothing DNA with Blake Harris and Charlie Gruber. The result: 99.8% match. Alexei was excluded. Within a week, under cover of night, heavily guarded, he was transported to the federal courthouse. He was still labeled a prisoner, but now provisionally released. In the prosecutor's office he watched those same video frames, shadows, voices, faces. His dam of silence cracked. "Have they arrested them?" he asked. "One, Harris. The other on the run." "What about my sentence?" "The appeal is being heard today." He nodded slowly. "Bring me back Rustam." In the holding room Rustam sat by the window, eyes fixed on the road. When the door opened, and Alexei entered, the dog didn't bark. He stood as a soldier salutes a commander. Alexei knelt. Rustam nudged his chest. Alexei for the first time allowed himself to close his eyes and feel nothing but the dog's fur and warm breath. "Justice is slow and cruel." Harris and Gruber claimed the evidence was planted. that DNA was fabricated, that one juror was biased. A scandal erupted in the media. Alexei's name resurfaced, no longer as a murderer, but as a man nearly destroyed by false accusations. Trial ran 6 hours. In closing, they read a recording found on Harris' phone. "Well, bury that cop. Who'd believe him?" Another line. "She asked for it. Look who she's mixed with." The jury had enough. Guilty verdict. Life without parole. At the end, the prosecutor looked at Alexei. "Want to file a civil suit? Damages? Compensation?" Alexei shook his head. "No. Because money won't undo this." He looked at Rustam in the hallway, chewing on an old ball. "I want all this behind me." They invited him on talk shows, to conferences on justice reform. He declined. He was offered a book deal. He refused. He walked into an old car, packed a ball, a blanket, a backpack, and said to Rustam, "Let's go." He bought a creaky house on the state's outskirts, surrounded by forest and lake. Quiet. Too far from neighbors, just enough. The kind of place to not hear other people's voices. At first noises felt threatening. He locked doors even in daylight, checked windows at night. Rustam adapted faster. He seemed to know the danger had passed. Each morning Alexei would wake, open the door, step outside into crisp air, watch steam rise from coffee. Rustam lay at his feet, muzzle on paws. Sometimes they walked in the woods, no goal, no prey, just walking. Alexei carried an axe, a thermos, gathered wood or mushrooms. Neighbors rarely spoke. A local mechanic named Wald once asked where he'd come from. "Far away," Alexei replied. That was enough. He occasionally went into town for supplies, books, old newspapers, searching for mentions of himself, but none appeared. The world had moved on. Years passed. Rustam aged, his muzzle grayed. He no longer raced after birds. He lay beneath trees, watching Alexei work. 4 years later, the dog simply didn't wake. Under a large oak, Alexei buried him by the house, placed a wooden cross, sat beside him until sunset. He didn't weep or speak. He inhaled the air gently. "Thank you." Then he rose and lived alone. Some children brought food occasionally. He was not feared, he was not revered. He was just a man quietly living, after surviving death, betrayal, imprisonment, and loss. One evening, reading an old book by the window, tea in hand, a branch knocked. Wind rose. Alexei stepped onto the porch, adjusted the shutter, breathed deeply, looked at the sky, and thought, now everything is in place. He knew he would never return to the past. He held no hatred. He sought no vengeance. All that remained was peace and memory of her, of him, of the dog who once saved his life.